And I was just talking about my dad, may he rest in peace. He used to say, Marilyn, no matter what, no money, no funny. You have to pay attention to the dollars that you make and make sure that you have enough for your retirement. And Darren Farwell, he reminds me of that every single time he's here. And he gives me confidence that it's possible to do. So good morning, Darren.
Good morning, Marilyn. And while, yes, you have to have money to have the funny, it's certainly important in life to have some of that funny. And I say that because last weekend, well, sort of the end of the week last weekend was one of those special treats that life serves up now and then that makes it all so much fun and so special. I spent 3 warm, sunny days at Blair Atholl Castle. That's sort of bumping up against the Highlands in Scotland. It was wonderful just to have 3 sunny days in a row, warm on top of that. The kicker is I was there with my daughter for her 21st birthday. 21st birthday apparently is a bigger deal in the UK than it is here. And 11 of her friends, all of whom were 4th year University of Edinburgh history students. Well, I was shocked at what an interesting, enlightening, and seemingly limitless energy of ideas and facts came from that group of young adult students. It really was spectacular. On top of the discussion, the debate, and of course there was a wee bit of scotch drinking, it really was a special time. But back to business, because at the end of the day, it was an expensive trip, so we have to find some way to fund it.
Well, I think just as you talk, I'll wish your daughter, I don't know her name, it's
Tate.
Tate, happy birthday, Tate, if you're listening to your dad. And I think the message that you share with me is the inspiration to take time to live. A lot of people say, I'm just waiting, I'll do this later. The fact is that every day is a treasure and you deserve to enjoy every day. And I think that you recognizing that and taking time with your family, I congratulate you on that and for sharing the message.
Thank you, Marilyn. We do have, I think, a lot more power over our time than people actually give credit for. We do have power over our own time, so we can choose how to use it as we wish. Anyway, back to business, because this isn't supposed to be about me. It's a chance to share happy stories of financial success with our From a Woman's Perspective listeners.
So please do.
And this morning, I have a happy story of success for a business owner. It's about starting an individual pension plan for business owners. This is a happy story about success in that, we may have found an excellent way to tax effectively deal with some of the CRA proposals to tax passive investment income earned inside a Canadian privately controlled corporation. You see, we do understand business owners. We've been dealing with business owners for over 30 years. These men and women are critical to our national economy, supplying over 70% of new job creation. We also understand that often business owners are extremely busy and so entirely focused on their own company that they don't do other long-term total wealth planning, and as a result, can miss other advantageous opportunity. And as we like to say, Marilyn, you don't know what you don't know, so if you're not looking out for other ideas, you're likely going to miss them. Our happy story is about Harry. Harry is the owner of a successful Toronto architectural firm. For 12 years, Harry worked endless hours with little extra to show for his commitment and devotion. You see, small, medium business owners don't often get defined benefit pension plans or matching RSP. In fact, these business owners are most often their own pension plan. Yet often, there just isn't enough extra around to provide the proper retirement funding. This was the case for Harry for years. But finally, 3 years ago, Harry started to accumulate substantial retained earnings in his company. So he was making much more money than he actually needed to spend, so he was able to start saving. Our strategy had been to invest these lower taxed dollars inside his corporation to provide his retirement nest egg. However, as I mentioned earlier, CRA is planning to take away the benefit of that strategy by levying additional tax on the passive income earned on those savings inside his private corporation, like Harry's architectural firm. So Harry came to me quite frustrated, finally he's got the money, and now the government was finding a way of taxing it, to discuss his options. Because we're a forward-planning total wealth management firm, of course, I had a few ideas ready for him. One, however, stuck out as particularly good: the individual pension plan. Here are a few reasons why the idea may work well for Harry and perhaps some business owners out there from a woman's perspective listeners. Number one, as the name implies, an individual pension plan creates a defined benefit pension plan for Harry, a plan which can be left to his wife and potentially his children as beneficiaries. Number two, the individual pension plan gets money out of his corporation. It's an expense for the corporation that is sent out to fund an external defined benefit pension plan in Harry's name. And because it's a defined benefit plan, it also includes creditor protection. Number three, because Harry spent so much of his resources getting his company going, he didn't make RSP contributions for years, and as such, has lots of RSP room available. Individual pension plans are ideally suited for ages kind of mid-40s to mid-60s, and ideally for people who have lots of unused RSP room. And of course, you need, though, the retained earnings in the company to actually catch up on those RSP contributions. Number four, an individual pension plan can actually over time allow you to contribute more to retirement savings than a traditional RSP. And finally, number five, funding an individual pension plan gets money out of your corporation. Therefore, it reduces the risk of running up against CRA's proposed additional tax on passive income inside your private corporation. Now, it's a detailed plan, and of course we need to run the proposal by Harry's accountant. It's quite important to have the accountant on side to give the check that this is the right thing for him and his business, and we regularly do work with our clients' accountants. But it looks really good. By planning forward and looking at the big picture with professional advice, Harry's happy that he can see a better outcome using an individual pension plan.
It'll make him feel less like a sitting duck if he's worked his whole life working in his business to have that benefit and then to have it taken away by the tax department. It's something that frightens me too. So I'm glad that you raised that, because I'm sure there are a lot of individuals who've spent their lives building a business and want to protect the money that they've earned because they don't have all the benefits that a paying structured job has. Now, if someone's sitting there nodding like me, yes, I understand this, and they want to talk to you about this, are you going to work today?
Yes, I am, Marilyn.
So coffee and parking on you if they set an appointment?
Yes, always free coffee and free parking if you come down to meet me at Scotia Plaza. And of course, we can make arrangements to meet elsewhere if it needs to be.
So if you want to be proactive and you don't just want to wonder about what can happen and what can be made better, and if you want to create your own happy story with the help of Darren Farwell, it just takes a finger on the phone. 416-863-7501 is the number. That's 416-863-7501. You don't know what you don't know, so if you want to know more about money and investing tax efficiently for your retirement, Darren Farwell and the Farwell Wealth Management team is there for you. They've been doing it since 1986. Happy stories every week, so he's happy to share them, but it's never too late to plan, and it's never too late to get the information that's specific to you, and it's offered to you here from Darren. So 416-863-7501. Thank you, Darren, for sharing that story and for giving us an option, because I've never heard of that either.
You're welcome, Marilyn.